Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Today we are going to update my budget planner for quarter 3. So I actually have a few changes that I'm going to make. Not a lot, but a little bit. This is my budget planner. I use the cover from Happy Planner Work Plus Life. I upgraded these discs from Amazon. I bought them at Amazon to get some larger discs. I have an internal cover that I get from Scrappy Wife. I love this cover. And then I have my annual pages, which I don't have too much that I'm going to take out. I do have some quarterly pages that need to be updated and added in here, but pretty much this whole section will stay the same. And then in my monthlies, I use the Work Plus Life dated monthly calendar and the monthly dashboard. And then I tend to take, out of that, I tend to take my own budget inserts, because I make my own budget inserts for the month. And that's what makes up my monthly planner. And I have that set up for 3 months at a time. And then I don't have much in the back of my planner. I just have a few like extra notes pages and a few specialty pages that I use. And then I have a folder where I put some printed stickers that I tend to keep in here. So that is basically how the planner works. What I'm going to do to set up this planner is take my monthly inserts from Work Plus Life. I have them in my overflow planner that I use for Franken planning. And so I'll take July, August, and September out of here. And then I am going to use some different dividers, just something a little bit more festive for the summer. So only the divider will come out of this planner. This is actually the planner that I use to store my older months for budgeting, and so I just put them all in here. And this planner was an old planner, but I really loved the dividers, so I kept the dividers. So I will probably, I don't know if I'll use these dividers now that I think about it, because these dividers are not 2025 dividers. So I said I was going to use them. I think this is like a 2023 planner, if I'm being honest with you. So I don't think I'm going to use them, because I don't think I want to, not think, I know. I don't want to redate my months right now. That'd just be too much work. I don't want to do that. So I love those dividers, but I'm not going to do any redating. Okay, so I'll just stick with my Work Plus Life dividers and just call that a day. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is take out some of these pages that I just have sitting in here, because I will put these back in the planner. I put that to the back. And then I am going to take out the prior months. This is April. It's a lot of pages per month. This ends up being a really thick planner, which is why I had to go to larger discs, because I use a lot of budget pages per month. You basically have pages every, you have an expense page every week. You have a category page every week. I'm going to keep these. These are like trackers, and I usually move these from month to month. So I'm going to go ahead and keep these so I can move them to July. Yeah, but that's why my planner ends up being really thick, my budget planner. Just because, it's a lot of pages. And I use thick paper. When I make my inserts, I print on 32 pound HP bright white. I love that paper, but it is pretty thick. It also has a slick finish. It's not very toothy. meaning it doesn't necessarily grab your pen ink that well. Not so much where, you know, you can't write on the paper. You've seen me write in my budget planner a lot. So it's not that. It's just occasionally a gel pen might skip. And it's really more because of the slickness of the paper. It's not so slick that you are like, oh my God, this is super slick paper. But it's just not toothy. You know how if you ever felt Erin Condren paper, it's not just thick, but it's toothy, meaning it has a little bit of a texture to it. If you have felt Plum paper planner paper, it's not toothy. It's slick like this, but it's not so slick that you can't write on it. Okay, I feel like that was way too technical than it needed to be. All right, so let's see, this 30-day challenge needs to come out. Oh, I didn't get all my pages out here for the month. Okay, hold on guys, I have some notes pages that need to go with me to the new quarter because they're notes about my vacation. And then the rest of those pages are actual extra pages. Okay, here we go. Okay, now I can come in and put my work plus life. I'm not going to put the whole month, okay? So if you look at the work plus life, let me show you what it looks like. It's basically a productivity planner, right? Let's see if I can just scoop this over and you can see it. So you're going to have a pretty boring, you know, divider, but it has really nice quotes on it, so that's good. You have a dated planner, and then you have this monthly dashboard. I love the work plus life. Oh, let me see if I can adjust this focus here. Let's see. Okay, that's a little bit better. I love the work plus life because of this monthly dashboard, honestly. If it wasn't for this monthly dashboard, I probably could just use any insert. And then the monthly layout in the work plus life is an hourly. I do not use these in my budget planner. I only use the calendar because I'm too lazy to date a new calendar right now. And then I use the dashboard. And then I usually put a blank piece of paper using just some tape runner here. And that becomes my dashboard monthly section. So I'm going to pull July. And then I'm going to pull the note page from the back because I use that to cover up the first week, and you'll see what I mean. Then I'm going to pull August, and I'm going to pull the note page from the back. And then I'm going to pull September. And then I'm going to pull the note page from the back. Okay, that I believe is all I need, except I am going to grab a few note pages because I do a lot of just brainstorming, doodling, not doodling, but like brainstorming in this planner, making different notes about financial goals and things like that. So I tend to put just a couple of blank notes pages just in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and get those pulled out. So this one is just about finish using those insert makers, or my overflow planner with the inserts. I'm finished with that. Okay, so I have notes pages. I have September, I have August, and I have July. So that is the base. And like I said, I use custom budget inserts, but it's just more convenient. I'm going to move the notes pages again to the back. I'm going to put those at the very end. It's just way more convenient, guys, for me to use the monthly dashboard that's already set up. The budget inserts that I custom design will be linked down below, and they do have a monthly planner in them. It's an undated monthly planner. It has its own dashboard. But since I bought this planner, I got it on clearance. You know me, I'm always buying a clearance planner. And I'm always trying to use what I buy. So since I bought this planner on clearance, I bought the Work Plus Life. I decided I might as well use the dividers and the monthly dashboard because I bought it and it saves me from my ink or whatever. I bought the Work Plus Life because I wanted the discs and I wanted this really nice fake leather blue cover. I just thought it was so beautiful. And I have gotten my money's worth just from using those two things. Okay. So no regrets about that. But let's move on. We have the structure for my 3 months here. Now I'm going to take my custom inserts. I've printed off enough for 3 months and I've printed off some additional annual pages. I will save the annual pages to the end, but I printed off some action plans, a checklist which goes with the action plan, and then a new quarterly financial goals. That's the only quarterly page that I really need to update. So we're going to save that to the end, and we're going to go ahead and put in our monthlies for our budget. In my budget planner in the month, I start with an overall monthly budget. Okay. And then I have cash flow pages. This page here with the paycheck cash flow, this is a page that I'm testing. I've mentioned this in another video to see if I'm going to include it in my new version, my 2026 version of my budget planner, which will roll out like October. So I think I am, but I'm going to keep testing it in Q3. What is currently in the budget planner that's linked below is the monthly cash flow. And I like using both of them, honestly. So I don't think I'm going to take the monthly out. I think I'm just going to add the paycheck cash flow. The reason I came up with that is people who get paid twice a month or bi-weekly, they might want to do their cash flow just based on their paychecks instead of every week. I've done it both ways. I like both ways. So I'll probably give you guys the option with the new version of this. But right now it just has the monthly cash flow. Then we have the weekly pages where I have my categories listed on one side. These are like my digital envelopes. And then I have my expense trackers where I keep track of my expenses for that week. And I have enough for an entire month. I think each month has 5 weeks. And then at the end of the month, I have my monthly category tracker. And this is where I keep track of the expenses that I have for the week. So I would put my digital envelope categories here, or all my expense categories actually. So home, health and beauty, grocery, dining out, auto, things like that. And then I would label the weeks going across the columns. So week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, except I put the dates. I start my weeks on Monday. So if I was doing this on July, I think it would be June 30th, July 7th, I guess, or July 6th, something like that. And then I'd keep on going. And then I have a reflection page at the end of the month, and I always include a 30-day challenge. Sometimes I use the 30-day challenge, sometimes I don't. And then I have an extra expense tracker page in case you need an extension page for a week where you have a ton of expenses. I always use, not always, but unfortunately I frequently run into the need to have that. So I have 3 months printed. So I'm going to go in, and behind July, I'm going to put in my actual budget inserts. These inserts are the inserts you see me planning on every week. Like I said, I only use the Happy Planner dashboard and date it monthly just to save me time so that I don't have to date a monthly every month. So you don't see me planning in that every week. You'll see me plan on that monthly once a month at the beginning of the month, but you don't see it every week. For 2026, I haven't decided if I am going to use the Work Plus Life planner layout again, or if I'll just use my own dashboard. I will say the Work Plus Life planner is an expensive planner because it comes with this really nice cover. It comes with those really nice metal discs, and they're no, they're not larger. They come with the metal discs. It's like almost a $50 plan. It's like $40-some for a big. I of course didn't pay that. I waited till it went on sale, like February of 2025, and I got it for like $14. But I say that to say, I don't know if I'm going to buy this regular price. I don't think I am, because I'm only using part of it. So at $14, I'm getting my value out of it. At $40-some, I don't think I'll get the value out of it. But I will need to set up my budget planner before 2026. So I can't necessarily wait until this goes on clearance. So I will probably do a different layout or use my own dashboard. Okay, so I have this set up. The next thing I have to do, let me grab my tape runner if I can find it. Okay, let's see. I hope I have enough tape. I am going to remember how I said in each month, because I'm using the Happy Planner structure, I have the dated monthly and then I have my dashboard. That's all I really want to use. But behind the dashboard, it has like this first week. Well, I don't really want that because I don't use that layout. And so I took the last page of the month out of the Happy Planner where it has a blank notes page. And I am going to take this blank notes page, and that is going to get glued down using my tape runner. To the last page of that monthly dashboard, and now it's just one page and it just opens right up to my budget. So I'm going to do that for August and September. And I'm not using a ton of tape for one thing. I don't know how long this cheap tape runner is going to last, so no need for me to use a ton of tape here. I usually just take the top, the bottom, and then I just let this fall. You know, it's not rocket science. Just gluing two pieces of paper together. And I do a couple in the middle. I used to go through and do like all the ones like in between the disc punches. I don't do that anymore. I don't have time for all that. Okay. So these are now stuck. And again, let me show you what it now looks like. This is the divider, opens into the dated monthly, opens into the monthly dashboard, and it goes straight into my budget planning. Right? These are my inserts that I put in here because this is actually what my budget planner is. Okay? And the benefit of that is I have a nice notes page now behind my dashboard, which is very helpful. Okay, so this is set up. We're almost finished with this Q3 setup, actually. Now what I want to do is take some of these extra pages and put them where they belong. So the first set of pages, these are just notes pages. I like to keep these, you know what, I was keeping them in the back, and honestly, it was like a hassle to get to them. So I think I'm going to put these in the front this time. These extra notes pages. So we have some extra notes pages, both lined and dot grid. I have some pages where I plan my, like do some pre-planning. And I usually keep these in the current month. So I am going to stick these in July. I have a lot for this month, for this pre-planning period, because I had a couple of trips I had to pre-plan. Then I have a couple of active challenges. I usually keep these in the front, but since they're active challenges, I put them in the actual month, and I move them from month to month, and I just stick them in the back of the current month. So I am actively saving for a new refrigerator, a new water heater, and new household patio furniture. I may not get that one done before it's time, because we're already in the summer, so I may just wait till they go on sale in the fall and winter here and then pick it up then. A vacation savings challenge. My vacation is the end of July, so I'm in the middle of that. And then a Memorial Day vacation. Oh, I could take this out because I already did that Memorial Day vacation. Okay, that is almost it. I have an action plan and my quarterly financial goals. My quarterly financial goals goes in the front of this planner. And let me just find my goals sheet. I have annual, quarterly. This was for last quarter. So I am going to put my quarterly financial goals here. And then my action plan, I'm going to put right here above my notes, because this is basically like a note sheet. It's just more of a list than a blank notes paper, but it serves the same purpose. So guys, believe it or not, I told you this was going to be one of the quicker Q3 setups I've done. This is my budget planner set up for Q3. So let's do a quick flip through. I'm bending the covers because, as you can tell, I'll hit the camera if I don't. Okay, I have my cover page. I have 2025, 2026. I have a few sticker pages that just come from they come from the Happy Planner. This Work Plus Life came with a page of stickers. I have a 2025 calendar, have a perpetual calendar, have some notes pages, and then I get into my annual section where I go over my goals. I didn't change this out. These are annual sections. I shouldn't have to change these every quarter. I just add a new quarter. My goals worksheets, financial, you know, all of this, like I said, is prep. You do this at the beginning of the year. You do this at the beginning of the quarter. My bills and subscriptions sheet, I have some blank ones in here because I need to update this for quarter 3. My category worksheet, I don't need to update these. My sinking and challenges worksheets. Like I said, all of this sits in the front because I don't change these out every month or every quarter. And then I have some active challenges that I want to do this year. I may not have started them, but these are the ones I want to do during the year. Then I have some notes sheets in case I want to make some notes or make some plans. Then I get into my monthly. So in July, I have my July calendar. I have my July dashboard. This is where I write my monthly goals. And then I go straight into planning for my budget. These are the budget inserts linked down below. I have a monthly budget, have a paycheck cash flow. This is in test. It is not linked below. I have a monthly cash flow. And then I get into my weekly expense trackers. Digital envelopes on the left, expense trackers on the right. And I have enough for 5 weeks in each month. The good thing about a printable is that you can print in whatever order you want, and you can print however many times you want. Like I said, I print on really thick paper So I really only do 3 months at a time. But you can print all year if you want it. You can print 1 month at a time. You can print your monthly category tracker first or last, whatever. That's the beauty of using a printable. But I have my monthly category toward the back of my month, right before my reflect and celebrate. And then I have a 30-day challenge, and I like to use it every month. And then I have an expense tracker extra sheet, just in case in one of these weeks I need additional space for expenses. That's here. These are just some personal notes that I've been keeping, just kind of like pre-planning. Primarily, usually I do like my quarterly pre-planning budget on my quarterly budget sheet. However, it's just timing was really weird. I did this like in June or May, and it ran into Q3, but I didn't have Q3 set up in May, obviously. So it was like, where am I going to put it? And so I just put it on these note pages, and I'll probably transfer it to the appropriate page now that I have Q3 set up. I have the challenges I'm currently working on in the current month. That is how it is set up. August is set up the same. When I get to August, I'll move those challenge pages, all the challenges that are not complete, to August. September is set up the same. And then I have a bookmark that identifies like where I keep some extra sheets. So I tend to keep like extra challenge sheets in here in case I want to start a new challenge. Some more notes pages, you know, are in here. And then I have a folder where I put budget stickers that I have printed and I use, primarily bill pay stickers. And that is it for this planner. My bills and expenses page sits in my current month, and this travel budget, I have it pulled out because I need to fill it out for my July trip. So I am just gonna go back to July really quick and stick these at this one I'm gonna put in the beginning, but this one I'm gonna put at the end of July because I need to fill this out. I've been procrastinating really bad about this trip, but I do need to fill that out. And my budget list will go in the beginning because I use it as reference. And that's it. That is my planner. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you guys have a great week planning.